Hello, this is Pasquale, and today I'm making a small video about my thoughts. Now, as you can see, this is my backyard. This is where I live, and that's my neighbors here in the back. I'm not really taping them, that's not the purpose of this video. More, I would say, the sky. That's the purpose. The purpose of the universe, of life. What is the purpose of... What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? Where are we going? What's our destiny? And as a species and as a population, what is our purpose? Now, I always think about this, and every time I come up with a different conclusion. But after getting to know a little bit about quantum mechanics and trying to find out and learning a bit about religion, world religion, and human psychology, and after having experienced many things myself, not miraculous experiences or spiritual experiences or religious experiences, more of a like trying to combine theology with science, and then reading books about people who are interested in the same subject, and reading books about people who are interested in each individual subject, and wondering why some agree and some disagree, and then looking at the whole thing and then coming up with your own conclusions, stepping out of the box for yourself and analyze the whole thing for yourself. And after you do this, you realize that life in general is full of arguments and complications and everything, and this is where the big locks of for every action there's a reaction, and this law even exists in a social way, not only physical. So if I have an argument, you're always going to have a counter argument. Like I've said before, it all depends on your mental state, on your if you're happy, you're going to have a different perception towards life than if you're mad, or any other emotional state. So it's all a bunch of bull crap. But at the end, if we just stop thinking for a bit, and we just stop analyzing, and we stop using our brains that are full of bias towards this world and full of emotions and perceptions, and we focus more on the true nature. Most Buddhists, for example, they say that we can reach nirvana by simply letting go of our thoughts. The moment we let go of time and space and we live in the now, then we realize we are in nirvana. So if we let go of all these contradictions and all these thoughts and all these things, then we might just for a bit have a glimpse of what it's like to just be at peace with one and not be in a turmoil of controversy. Now, I don't want to sound too philosophical here. These are just my thoughts, and I'm recording them. And if anybody has any interests in these types of thoughts, not mine, but in their own in general, then it'd be nice if they could share it with me. Now, I'm going to also give a little bit of my thoughts regarding what I believe in these moments of silence that I have, and I contemplate on the universe and contemplate on the atom, and then I put them both into perspective and see if I can know where these both originated from, or what their purpose is, or where they're going. Now, science, obviously, from a natural, rational point of view, does give an explanation for the origin of the universe, even for the origin of an atom, which we still don't know. Even for that, But universe, we know that there was a Big Bang. But the Big Bang came from something minute, something minuscule, something tiny, smaller than an atom. Where did that come from? Did it just appear or pop in from what some theorists say is a massive clash or massive bumps of membranes from a different dimension, creating energy into each different multiple universe, creating multiple Big Bangs every minute, second that we exist, meaning that there is multiple, indefinite, multi-universes everywhere. Right now, as I speak, as you're watching this video, there could be dinosaurs in a different multi-universe walking right beside you without you having the ability to see them, to hear them, to touch them. None of your five senses able to grasp this other part or these other universes or these other parallel universes. Only your five senses are able to touch this three-dimensional or four-dimensional universe that we exist in, that we live in, and that we know by our own physical laws of nature. So this is something very, very cool to think about, that we could be walking in our own universe but at a different radio frequency, kind of like a radio. All frequencies always exist, but you can't listen to them all at once, because if you tune into one radio, you automatically tune into that specific radio station, and you can't listen to the song or the radio station you were listening to before. Even though it still exists, you cannot experience it, and this is merely what we might be experiencing in this world. But this is just the pathogenesis or the genesis of basically how this earth or this world works. Now, if we get into more philosophical issues as to why this happened, not just for mere a Big Bang happening every second, but why? What's the purpose? And I've always said there could be a blind watchmaker, but what is the purpose of the watch? It's to tell time. Okay, then you'll say, well, time is a perception or something that gives information that you find and you think it gives you information is something that only we perceive, because what other option do we have? If we were primitive animals that had no knowledge of anything and we saw a rock, we would give the rock a meaning, an absolute meaning. And this rock would have many purposes in our life. We could make we could make weapons, we could crush nuts, we could do many things. Anything that we find could give us a meaning. But as things get more complex, such as a watch, then this question of do things have a purpose becomes bigger and more apparent. Because a rock, it's true, anything that we see and we perceive can have a meaning. But when do we cross the line to say that something has been purposely been giving a meaning or has just accidentally been giving a meaning? So when do we cross this line? And I think that when you find a watch, the line has been crossed. We no longer see a rock that we ourselves give it a meaning. Rather, the watch gives us a meaning because it gives us the time. It already knows something about the universe, something that we didn't know, that we perceive, which is time and space. So somebody has provided that for us to give us a meaning, not us giving it a meaning. Now I'm going to leave this video right here because I think YouTube still only gives us 10 minutes, and I hope that you guys ponder on these questions or on these thoughts, and maybe you guys can give me some feedback. Peace, and this is Pasquale. Goodbye. Ciao.